bearing. Alright. Now, just like how I've labeled these, I'm going to make sure that I grab the values that I want for these multiply chips. So I'm going to make the A, this multiply chip, be the pitch and elevation little multiply chip from there. The A from down here is going to be this chip here. And the next thing I want to do is I want to grab the delta from this chip here and the delta from this chip here as well. Now you notice I haven't done anything with the roll. I'm going to capture the roll directly from the gyroscope. Alright? And get the delta for the roll directly from the gyroscope. Alright? Nice and simple. Alright? Now this multiplier chip here, you want to make sure that you get the delta for each, just like so. Now time to set the B values for these two multiply chips. The B value of the first row is going to be 2, and the second row is going to be 10. That way you're multiplying the pitch or the elevation by 2, and the change in pitch or elevation by 10. Alright? That is what delta is. Change in whatever. Alright? So multiply by 2 for each of these values here. And multiply by 10 for the second row. Alright. Now we want to kind of test this out. I like to test this out one set of chips at a time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my turret that I'm building here, and I want to test out the roll first. That way I'm making sure that there aren't going to be any glitches or any mistakes that'll happen later on. Alright? I'm going to attach it here, and it's mapped. And I'm going to leave that right there for the moment. Now the thrusters that I'm going to use for this, I'm going to put on this side here. I want them to try to basically roll this in a specific direction. Alright? Now, if your turret goes upside down and you don't want to change the position that you have for your thrusters, I would just suggest putting a negative value. That way it will just act in a negative way. Instead of like going upside down, it will stay straight up. But right now, I am also going to put the thrusters for the elevation and the pitch right here, and the thruster for the bearing and the yaw right here. That way I've got all my thrusters already set up. I don't have to worry about it later. One thing that I'm going to do now is change the weight. Because as you notice, weight of 4, it's going to be very spazzy, and you don't want it to spaz out on you. So I'm going to change the weight of all the thrusters to 100. That way, they'll have a greater ratio when trying to push the main unit here. And I change the weight of the props to 100 too. That way they have a little bit more durability, say if you're trying to use this in a G combat situation. The next thing I'm going to do is increase the weight of the turret itself to 1,000. Alright? It will increase the durability for that as well. Now, like I said, I am only going to try to test this one at a time. And the one thing that I want to test right now is the roll. So the 4 thrusters that I have for roll right now, I'm going to bring them to my roll chip and wire these up and try to see if this will work properly. Alright. Now it looks like it's a little off balance. see that it's trying to stabilize itself out. I'm sorry for the lag there, guys. Stabilize it out. Alright, that looks pretty good. It is probably a little offset to the side because gravity is going down on it. So I'm gonna go to physical properties and make sure that I have gravity toggle unchecked. Now it doesn't really matter what you have checked for it, so I'm gonna make sure that all my props, all the thrusters, everything on this has zero gravity attached to it. That way later it will have zero problem trying to zero in on what you're trying to get to. But as you can see, the roll is at 0 and it snaps right to it. Alright, I'm going to freeze the new prop. I'm going to unaxis that from there, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to test the yaw and the bearing. That way, I can figure out whether or not it's going to look where I want it to. Alright. The one thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that the thruster you have set up for bearing and yaw right here is linked to that particular chip, this one right here. Alright. Alright, and it seems that it is going crazy. Alright. So nice little demonstration on how to figure out whether or not to see why it's going crazy. And I think the problem is probably because we do not want the actual yaw output to be changed into this right here. So what we'll do is we want to make it to where it'll calculate the delta of the yaw, but not the actual output of the yaw itself. So we're going to make it where this chip here for yaw and bearing, we're going to make it so that it only functions when it's active. So on the advanced pod controller, make sure that you link C to active right here, and you'll see that there's a big fat 0 being output here. This is what you want. This will activate when you're actually sitting in the pod, as you guys can see. Well, shit, it is spazzing out. Why the fuck is it spazzing out? Add value. Delta value. I think it's because there's no friction